On October 2, 2018, journalist Jamal Khashoggi walked into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey, and never came out. There, a Saudi team reportedly suffocated and dismembered him. U.S. intelligence later concluded that Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman had approved a mission to capture and kill the Saudi-born journalist who had been critical of him. The prince calls Khashoggi's death a mistake. Many people are remembering Khashoggi 5 years after his death.
Jamal Khashoggi was a part of an important generation. He represented someone who was calling for democracy and reforms and improvement in the Arab world.
He started to become increasingly critical of a range of policies and general practices of the Saudi government under bin Salman, ranging from the war in Yemen to the crackdown on women's rights activists to the overall kind of campaign of repression that he thought was made Saudi Arabia a very tightly controlled and censored place.
Those marking his death are saddened, too, by the increasing normalization of relations between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. U.S. President Joe Biden visited the kingdom in 2022 and met with the Crown Prince. Analysts say the U.S. interest in Saudi Arabia has been in part to meet American energy needs.
I'm doing all I can to increase the supply for the United States of America.
But many activists and advocates would like to see human rights and the rule of law put front and center when it comes to U.S. foreign policy.
When President Biden was running for president, he vowed to make Saudi Arabia a pariah for the Khashoggi murder. But in fact, today, exactly the opposite has happened. The U.S. is embracing Saudi Arabia and is negotiating a mutual defense treaty with the Saudi Arabian government.
We have to rethink the United States engagement with dictatorships, with human rights abusers. We have to stop supporting them with our weapons and with our political capital.
Despite sentences and what they call show trials in Saudi Arabia, Khashoggi's family and supporters say there's been no real justice in the journalist's killing. But that won't stop them from calling for it. Laurel, Bowman, VOA News, Washington.